2, 1, we're rolling.
Is that the smoker?
Yeah.
Nah, he's
Smoking no cigarette.
What does he care? They smoke in Texas.
No, it's not good.
Okay,
Don't want to influence
sorry.
anybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Jimmy, we've been sitting here reminiscing about all the way back to Rollerball days when you did that film. And the last time I think I saw you was Kiss Me Goodbye. Was that the last film you did before your hiatus?
My hiatus hernia. Let's see, wait. Yes, I had to look at my superiors over there. They all nodded, yes.
So Kiss Me Goodbye, and that was about in what, 82? Again, looking at your
Yes.
superiors.
I'm too busy, man. I can't be thinking about
Looking at your brains over there.
Yeah. No.
But anyway, Jimmy, we've been missing you on the screen, and I was so delighted to hear that you were going to be in this film. And then when I saw the film and saw your performance, I said, doggone, that man's been away too long. So why have you been away from us so long?
I was having fun raising my son. I wanted to basically grow up with him, and so when he turned 5, I decided to spend all my time with him, and I was occupied all the time by coaching his football team. I mean, not his football team, his basketball, his baseball, Little League, and AYSO soccer. And I truly enjoyed it. And my need to be on the screen wasn't as great as that one, so I stayed with it. And then they were going to take the house away, and I had to go back to work.
Well, that was going to be my next question, because most of us could not afford to maintain our lifestyle if we didn't work for 5 years.
That's true. I was down to 2 hamburgers a day, and then I had to go to work. I had made some very bad financial decisions, and then a part of me wanted to go back to work too, and I was very fortunate in getting together with Francis, when I did come back.
Did Francis come to you and say, Jimmy, I've got this part and you'd be good for it and I want you to do it? Was that the way it evolved?
Well, I mean, not exactly in those words. I think it was, please, Francis, let me do. No. I had read the script a month earlier. It wasn't, as they say, a go project. It just was a terrific script I liked. And then Francis, coincidentally, had called me 2 or 3 weeks later, and we just talked about, he was disgruntled a little bit about the business, so was I. We were just talking. And then about a week later, I found out that he was associated with this particular project. And then he called me, and I was very lucky. I mean, it was something I waited for. I mean, I knew that when I did come back into the business that I wanted to be surrounded by the right people and, with what I thought to be a good project.
During your 5-year absence from films, were scripts offered to you? And
Yeah, I mean, there was an incident actually where I almost started to make one, and I left before it started for some personal reasons, and I just wasn't really ready. But
what was it?
it was a picture called The Holcroft Covenant, and I'm very happy that I left it, because the thing opened in Egypt, I think. I don't know, it closed in Egypt. I don't know what happened.
I was going to say, I never heard of it, I'm sorry.
See, that's good. So that's one time I wasn't wrong. So my agent is having a coronary. So what were we saying?
But anyway, now this role is a more mature James Caan. I mean, it seems to me that the role is played with more maturity than you, Jimmy Caan, are at this moment.
Well, yeah, he's a little older and a little more out of shape. I gained a little weight, and because he was now in the sort of in the fat times, the easy time. He wasn't running through the swamp any longer, and
Was that a hard decision to make?
which decision?
To play a more mature role?
No. I mean, that's you can only do what the writer writes about. In other words, you can't do any more or shouldn't do any less. And I thought my choices were relevant to the along with Francis's thoughts to the script. And I had a feeling of. In other words, I had stronger feelings about this project because it was very much like the life I was living. Being a teacher and a father. And this guy is certainly the same way. He has very strong feelings about the kids that have to go to war.
Are you back to stay now in films?
Well, I hope so. Time will tell, So far, there's not a big line outside the door, but we'll wait and we'll see.
I bet when they see this film, there will be.
Well,
Yeah, Jimmy, it's a beautiful, wonderful performance.
thank you.
I thank you so much for this interview and this time.
My pleasure.
And I'll look forward to seeing you again on the big screen very soon.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Jimmy. Lovely
Thank
to see you.
Boys, we're going to do some rehearsal. Bob, all set to go?
I'm going to
About
cheat it
here.
about to here.
Okay.
Can I do that?
Yeah, and
Okay.
a little lower, please. Bob?
Oh, the camera?
Yeah. Good.
Okay.
That's fine. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, rolling, Bobbie.
Jimmy, was Kiss Me Goodbye your last film before your hiatus?
Do you want me to answer this?
No. No. Okay. I'll do that again. Was Kiss Me Goodbye the last film before your hiatus? And that was about in 1982, wasn't it? Now, why have you stayed away from the screen for so long? That was going to be my next question. Because most of us couldn't afford our lifestyle if we didn't work for 5 years. How did you manage to maintain your lifestyle during the 5 years you weren't working? This role, did Francis come to you and say, Jimmy, come on now, let's do this? This role is a more mature James Caan than you actually are. Did you have to stop and think about that, whether you wanted to do a more mature role? Okay, and now just some silent reactions. Okay, thank you.
That's hard. How do you do that? It's really good.
Oh, it's practice.